Alright, so this morning we're going to go over, this is going to be two parts. The first part we're going to go over the urinal flush valve and everything to make sure you understand how to make sure it's fully shut off for when you have to go and pull a urinal off the wall and everything. And then the second part is we're going to go in there and actually pull the urinal off the wall and the proper steps that you need to ensure all the water is out so that you don't end up flooding your restroom and everything. So very first thing you'll see, this is an active flush valve, as you all know, as we've tested already. So the very first step when you come into a flush valve is obviously you're going to go to your control stop right here. You want to shut it off completely. And then the quickest next step to empty water out is hit that handle. And hit it a few times. Really make sure you're making the actuator of the diaphragm activate to ensure that you're pushing all the water out. The next step, which either one of these could be technically your first step, is to also go through and look for an isolation point. Ours is right there. That's going to be another great secure point where if you are replacing the entire flush valve, we always make sure we replace the control stop with it. If you can't find an isolation valve, that's okay. You know, you'd either jump back to the main water of the store, or if we're just focusing on like the urinal portion to clear out the drain line, then you can shut it off right here at the control stop. But you always want to make sure that your water is fully off 100%. The next step to ensure that there's no water is opening up the top here. I would do it very slowly, just in case your control stop here has not fully sealed. Do it very slowly, and if so, if you still have water running, you'll start to see it start trickling and everything before you get it off those final, turns of the threads. And if that's the case, immediately seal it back up and find another point to shut it off at. Once you've done that, then your next steps are to go right here and actually disconnect it from the control stop completely. Now usually, I did that a little too quick. Usually before you take it fully off of the threads, if you still have pressure right here, you're going to see it's going to try to kick the flush valve out. But luckily, on all these flush valves, they put this little metal ring right here. And that metal ring, as long as you have this still connected on, it's going to help catch it and stop it before it just is a full thrust and then you're flooding the restroom. Trust me, I've had it done myself and it's not a fun time. You will be soaked faster than you can even say the word, I'm soaked. It's crazy. And then the store managers are looking at you like you have no idea what you're talking about or doing anymore, and that's a terrible position to be in. You got to remember that when we're in these stores, we are the professionals and they are looking at us as professionals. So you're not going to look real professional if it looks like you just jumped in a swimming pool and you're going to them and saying, hey, I need a mop bucket. All right? Any questions on that? Pretty simple, right? Always want to make sure you have killed your water supply. Super important. All right, pause that and we'll jump over to the next. All right, so the next step is once you have your flush valve completely shut off and everything, you want to get your shop vac. And this is where you want to make sure you get all the water out of the urinal bowl itself, and it's going to pull some of the water out of the drain line if it's fully, like you got a full clog or a calcium buildup that's in there that's just making it where you know, nothing is going down whatsoever. So obviously, quick step, put your flush or your shop back in here, turn it on, pull everything out of there, and then you can proceed with cutting your caulking line and removing the flush valve or the toilet urinal off the wall. Where did that bucket go? Ideally, I had a 5-gallon bucket. I'm not sure where it disappeared to. I think I left it in there. But you would always want to put a bucket underneath here as well, just in case your shop vac did not get everything out. That way you can catch everything, and it keeps everything at a minimal, you know, disaster zone of you having to clean up a whole bunch. So just set it right up under there, super easy, super simple, and it's gonna make your cleanup time that much quicker, less work you've got to do, all because you are prepared from the start. Any of my veteran guys, do y'all remember, and can y'all tell some of these newer guys, what are I like to say the 6 P's, but some people call it the 5 P's of plumbing. Anybody?
Preparation. Someone I wrote.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yeah.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Yep, that's right. Those are the 5 or 6 P's of plumbing. I've always known it as the proper preparation prevents poor production. That's your 5. And then once you have all that and everything's done, pull your urinal off the wall. Anything left in here will just dump right into your bucket. It's nice, easy, clean, and you keep a very minimal mess out here on the floor and everything. Once it's off the wall, this caulking right here, you want to get a scraper, clean all that stuff off, clean it off the back side of the urinal because you're going to be putting brand new caulking on. All this old stuff is just going to get in the way and cause you to have either one, it's going to improperly sit on the wall because it's pressed up against all this old stuff. And then 2, it's just when you go to put in the new caulking and everything and try to clean up, it's just going to make it tougher on you on that side. So don't skip any steps. Just do it all the right way, every step, every time, and it'll be a nice, seamless process. Sound good? Any questions? All right. That's the video. Thank you, Tyler.